Hello and welcome back to Sorted Food.
Ebbers, why am I dressed like this?
Well, Easter is just around the corner and we thought we'd have a little look at some of the Easter eggs that have caught our eye this year on the UK shelves.
Still don't understand why I'm dressed as a carrot.
Did you just want to see my cock-a-doodle-doo?
Barry, you're in the chocolate hot seat first. Lift the cloche at number 1.
This is going to be a good day. Sandwiches? Oh, oh, okay.
Egg sandwiches.
They are egg sandwiches.
Baz, these are the Hotel Chocolat egg sandwich range. Fancy an egg sandwich? Well, we've used slices of 3D scanned real bread to create an authentic chocolate mould. Sandwiched between 36% milk chocolate is a caramel yolk made up of silky white chocolate.
Move them.
I can't.
Move them.
I can't.
No, don't put them near your
can't.
chest. Don't. No.
I couldn't help myself. I'm only human.
You're not. You're a carrot.
Sorry.
So hang on a second. They didn't just cut a sheet of chocolate into triangles. They went to the extent of 3D printing the shape of a slice of bread.
I mean, 3D moulding is not unusual in chocolate work. However, the fact that this has been moulded around actual sliced of wholemeal bread.
It feels really good fun.
It is good fun, and it's very good, high quality chocolate. I want to try the egg bit. Oh, 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 hollow. But yeah, again, it's really high quality chocolate. Hint of caramel in there. It grabs your attention. It's a bit of fun, which all these need to be.
FYI, none of these are #ad. We've picked them because they're interesting to us and we think they can spark intriguing conversations. So we bought them all with our own money.
Do you want the lamb mint and marmalade one?
You bloody love marmalade. Only disappointing thing, Baz,
Yeah.
not a triple sandwich. It's my favourite one to go for.
Are you getting more mint or more lamb?
A lot more mint.
I picked this one because I thought a bit of fun with the novelty around kind of language and play on words and different packaging that catch your attention. But we also know good sustainable chocolate. So they've always had a very strong reliance on principles around sourcing all of their cocoa, and they even had their own plantation in St Lucia with an actual hotel chocolat, where they get some of their cocoa, but everything they do is super sustainable.
That is spectacular.
Easter is about giving and receiving. Would you give it? Would you receive it?
Oh, we definitely give this one because it's novelty with a hint of class, which I think is sorted, isn't it, really?
He says in a carrot costume. Okay, Baz, whether you want to give it or receive it, let's talk price. How much each?
£5.
Twice that at 10 each, 9 if you buy them as a set of 3.
It's still not cheap. Yeah, I think I like this one. I'm going to take this home. Thank you.
Conversation number 2, Jay. Lift the cloche.
Is this one of the ones I laid earlier?
I hope not.
Oh, it's a Belgian ruby chocolate geometric egg.
Yes, Jamie, this is Aldi's hand-decorated, smooth and fruity Belgium ruby geometric egg. It's geometric-shaped Easter egg with no plastic in its packaging.
It feels to me like ruby chocolate became a thing like a year or two ago, and I hadn't ever seen it before, and now I see it in a lot of places.
For clarity, ruby chocolate isn't chocolate dyed ruby, it is that colour.
Yes, so it is kind of the 4th type of chocolate. You're right, it's been in development for a number of years, but now you can get it in a number of different varieties. It is essentially, we think, speculation, although it's a trade secret, unfermented Brazilian cocoa beans that are that colour. So it is a different process and you get that fruitiness from the flesh that comes around it as opposed to the fermented roasted cocoa beans, so it's slightly different. And partly the geometric shape gives it strength, more stability than a regular egg, and therefore the packaging can be less. We know that Easter eggs often come in a lot of packaging. Dig in, Jay.
No, it's because the shape is stronger, yeah.
Geometric, isn't it? Now, Jay, they say the flat bottom means that it does not need a concave plastic insert to support it. It can just lay flat in a cardboard box. And this is part of Aldi's initiative to eliminate 29 tonnes of plastic from its Easter egg range this year.
That sounds quite commendable.
Most importantly, what does it taste like?
Ruby chocolate is really interesting because it's so fruity. It's like a berry. It's very, very sweet, very, very fruity. It doesn't taste like normal chocolate.
It's definitely close to white chocolate
Yeah.
than darker chocolate.
For me, it tastes like white chocolate and raspberry together.
Yeah.
You've got that tang of fruit and berry, but the creaminess and sweetness of white chocolate.
It's really interesting. I wonder whether the colour is helping that as well, because it stands out and it is different and it's not like an artificial colour, it's the colour of the chocolate.
So for those who don't know, Aldi is one of the more affordable supermarkets in the UK and across Europe. So with that in mind, Jay, how much for this egg?
I'm going to say £6.
You can have 2 for that.
Oh,
£2.99.
whoa, okay.
Whoa.
Wow.
Interesting.
That's much cheaper than I thought it was going to be.
I also presume that ruby chocolate would be more expensive.
I'm sure it is more expensive than a simple milk or dark chocolate, but as it's beginning to gain popularity and scale in production, it's becoming more affordable. A few years ago, it was very expensive.
I wonder, we know one of the things supermarkets are really good at is producing loss leaders. So an item that they produce for a certain price and then they sell it for lower than that because it gets you into the store and you buy other things and that's where they'll make their profit. I wonder whether that's one of those items. Because for me, that feels like a really good quality egg and I'm surprised at the price.
Barry, number 3, lift the cloche.
It's not an egg.
It's an egg plant.
It's not, it's an aubergine then.
This is M&S's vegan offering this year. So it is a vegan Easter egg. It is an eggplant.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think the shape of the chocolate is the problem when it comes to veganism.
Well, if you're a vegan, do you want to be eating an egg? You don't eat eggs, but you do eat aubergines.
Apart from the shape, this is more my sort of Easter egg. I like a dark chocolate Easter egg.
It's got a good shine to it. Have a crack, have a taste.
Is this going to be a thing today?
It's going to be a thing. Oh, that didn't crack in the way I thought it would.
Yeah,
Not along the seam, interestingly enough.
Don't call it a seam.
Barry, this is named Best Vegan Easter Egg by the BBC Good Food and has definitely got people talking for obvious reasons. What do you think?
Right, I'll start with the chocolate. It does taste really nice, it's really, really pleasant. I don't think it's the highest quality chocolate, only because there's ever so slightly a chalkiness to the chocolate, which makes you think it's not super high end. I think it's a mid-range, dark, rich chocolate. I don't know what the percentage is. 55%.
Not very high, and therefore normally I would associate that with milk chocolate and a lot of dairy. Obviously, that's not using dairy as we know it.
Yeah, I'd expect more 80, 90% for premium dark chocolate.
The concentration of cocoa solids doesn't necessarily apply to
No, sorry.
premium.
Or quality, because you
No,
get
sorry.
excellent milk chocolate.
Yeah, sorry, yeah.
But yeah, I know what you mean.
The shape is probably the most novelty of them yet. Does the shape put me off? A little bit.
What about this?
Why would it put you off? You're dressed as a carrot.
I don't dress as a carrot every day of the week, do I?
You had an Easter egg sandwich a minute ago. When you're looking at Easter eggs, Bads, do you tend to err on the side of novelty or quality?
Depends on who it's for. If it's for a kid, then I'll just get the most bonkers looking thing I possibly can, and the quality doesn't matter. But if you're buying for a friend or someone a bit older, then I make sure that the quality is a little bit higher, because they might not be so fussed about the novelty shape. It feels like it's an idea Jamie Spafford would have come up with.
Oh, I don't know, I love an innuendo too. I think eggplant.
Exactly, I don't know
Easter
why.
eggs.
I think it's quite nice.
Yeah.
I think it's just a bit of fun.
What about price, Barry?
Let's go like £8.
£6.
Okay, yeah.
He'd pay £8 for an aubergine, but he'd only pay £5 for a sandwich.
Well, I was just trying to find. I know where I am now. Okay, I was feeling my way around the sandwich.
I really hope there's another novelty one for him later.
Right, Jamie, you're up. Lift the cloche.
Oh, Tony's. I really like their chocolate.
What you got there is 2 small things from Tony's Chocolonely. So you've got their mini eggs, 12 eggs divided by 7 flavours. This carton is unequally divided, just like our bars. They say the problem is that things aren't being shared evenly in the chocolate supply chain, so why should our chocolate? And that's kind of Tony's mission that they have always been on, is how do we make sure that right the way through the chain, everyone is getting what they deserve. And the bar is lemon meringue. meringue, another good use for eggs. And if you open up the whole thing, you can crack the egg free.
One of the things I've always enjoyed about Tony's is it feels like I'm unwrapping a Wonka bar.
Yeah.
It is the nostalgia of Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, and it feels really special. And then look at that.
I mean, their flavour's already pretty playful. I've never heard of a chocolate that flavour.
Lemon meringue chocolate bar.
Little meringue pieces inside. They're also chunky pieces.
Who's getting lemon?
It's almost a similar tang to the ruby chocolate we had before, that kind of berry sharp tang, especially in the crunchy bits, if you get the white bits.
The little crunch from the meringue is really, really nice.
So in the same way, your dozen eggs are divided into 7 different flavours.
Almond honey nougat, milk chocolate, dark chocolate, caramel sea salt, almond sea salt, hazelnut and pretzel toffee. Egg?
What flavour? Oh, I don't know, be a guessing
No
game.
idea.
No, these are all random.
Oh yes, a solid egg. That's what you need.
I do love a solid egg.
And with all the textures.
Oh my God.
So when you think about cocoa, there is a price, there is a market global price for cocoa. If you are then buying fair trade, you pay a fair trade premium to make sure that the growers get what they need. Tony's then also pay a premium on top of that because they still don't feel like fair trade is enough. So they've always paid above and beyond to support the farmers growing the cocoa.
Great.
That's really interesting. Haven't they been in the news recently for not doing some of that?
They have hit some scrutiny in the press because they've essentially been dropped from the slave-free chocolate list because of their association with a company that processes their bars. So they are still claiming 100% of what they believe in, but as they scale, their bars are now processed in a factory, and that factory belongs to a company that is associated. And I also follow that up with a quote that says the brand completely stands by its relationship with Callebaut, which is the brand they're associated with, because that will trigger them to change from within.
Okay, so working inside out rather, right.
So worth saying, Tony's deliberately chooses to work in Ghana and the Ivory Coast because that's where some of the worst problems are and that's where they can make the most positive impact. In Ghana and the Ivory Coast, 1.56 million children work under illegal conditions and 30,000 people are victims of modern slavery.
The whole thing is fascinating to me, but if they can make that change from inside the big corporation, great.
Let's talk price. How much?
I'm gonna go £4.50.
£3.98 from their own site. What about the little box of mini eggs?
£8?
£4.50 from their own site.
You're not just buying chocolate, you're buying into the mission that they're on. It is absolutely delicious and it's doing something really nice. So yeah, I'm happy to pay that. Novelty, novelty.
Last one.
Come
Let's
on.
go out with a bang.
Come on.
Novelty.
Oh, yes.
Doesn't
Posh box.
Doesn't look novelty. Oh no!
Dark sugars, chocolates.
This is Dark Sugar's box of nutters. Chopped roasted pecan nuts, chopped pistachios, folded in pecan praline and enrolled in 85% dark chocolate from the wonderful land of Côte d'Ivoire.
Hey, but is this an Easter egg? This looks like a box of chocolates.
What did make us wonder, does Easter have to be all about eggs or can it just be about quality chocolate?
I'm going for a milk chocolate first.
And the reason this one caught our eye is because of the fantastic story. It's the story of one woman's journey to tell the story of cocoa, from tree to tummy. So Nyanga began her quest in Spitalfields Market with 2 truffles and a lot of gumption. Along the way, she met a man who loved cocoa as much as she did, and together they set sail for Borough Market. Many excited years in Borough, they packed up their truffles and flew to South America and West Africa, where she spent 3 years researching cocoa on her family's farm. And then eventually they brought all of that knowledge back to East London, where they have a store in Brick Lane.
They're genuinely spectacular. Smooth, silky inside, crunchy praline, beautiful chocolate coating outside. They're exquisite. For grown-ups, love this for Easter. And the thing I like about the experience as well, you still get the theatre around unboxing. I like it. And I want to try more of their selection. They've got some bonkers things here, popping candy ones. They've got little chocolate cups with pipettes of random flavours as well. So really experimental, good fun.
That dark chocolate one was fantastic. Has it got to do with Easter?
Yeah, struggling with that.
Has Easter just become a a huge commercialisation opportunity for novelty? Or actually, could we dedicate 20% of our cloche lifting to just quality, exquisite chocolate, and people have got an excellent backstory and have actually put in the time to do the research, spent 3 years in Western Africa, and are bringing back the knowledge from their own cocoa farms?
Way to make me feel like a
But they're nice, right?
Absolutely adore those.
18 exquisite premium chocolates in that box.
I reckon they're about probably a bit more than £1 a pop. £25.
That box is £36, so they are £2 a chocolate.
I wouldn't buy that for myself, but to a chocolate lover, this would go a long way.
I know what you mean, Baz, because in my mind, £36 is a lot of money for a box of chocolates. But
Yeah.
£36 for that box of chocolates isn't expensive because of the quality, the time, the expertise, and everything that's gone into making that.
Tell you what, seeing where I started this video, I thought that egg sandwich was a £5, because in my head that's what chocolate costs. Then going to this level and going via Tony's on the way, it's made me appreciate what goes into making chocolate and how much it should cost. I'm just used to spending far too little. What a lovely gift, thank you so much. This video started with two dads dressed as a cock and a carrot. But look how far we've come. See? What did I say earlier? Novelty, but classy.
Which is our turn to hand over to you. What did you think of our Easter treat episode? And comment down below with which one was your favourite.
And probably comment down below and let us know who looked best in their costume, the cock or the carrot. That should be our pub name. The cock and the carrot.
You're both very lucky because you've got things covering your terrible hair situation at the moment.
You've been terrible.
I just did it like a badger.
But you've had that haircut for the 25 years that I've known you.
But I'm going to blame lockdown.
Time to put the next Lego hair on.